Hey, y'all, it's Tim Miller from the Bulwark. AOC went ham on Stephen Miller on her Instagram live story, and it's got some of the MAGA social media boys all in a titter. They're in a titter on Twitter. Their little feelings are hurt. They're like, AOC has been mean to Stephen Miller. They're outraged. They're pretending to be outraged while crying. It's like, you know, the meme with the angry mask covering up the crying face. That is the MAGA social media boys responding to AOC. And I think that's a good sign. It's a good sign that you're onto something politically when you're triggering the other side to that degree, and when your message is strong and correct. And so I want to break down this AOC Instagram Live and talk about why I find it encouraging. I like where she's headed with it. We've got a little note about what happens at the end, you know, about sometimes the shackles that the left puts on themselves. But let's just watch AOC rip together, and then I'll be with you on the other side.
This is about insecure masculinity. And one of the best ways that you can dismantle a movement of insecure men is by making fun of them. By having secure men who aren't afraid of successful people around them, who are good dads.
There we go. That's not building these guys up. Too often on the left, sometimes you hear them talking about big scary Donald Trump, and it actually kind of helps him. Like you think that you're critiquing him by comparing him to these other authoritarians, but actually people kind of like it. It makes him seem like he's strong. It's what he wants. And instead, mining this vein, that this is a movement of insecure little men. It's not about being anti-man. It's we want strong men. We want dads. We want the traditional, be a little trad, Dems. I mean, what are you really calling for? Like the model of masculinity that was the model of masculinity my whole lifetime. Like the strong, silent type, right? The Clint Eastwood. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody who cares about his community, who's a fucking good dad, who could beat your ass if you challenge him, but isn't gonna like whine and complain and like overcompensate and just be mean to people that are weaker than him. Like that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of being pathetic. It's a sign of being insecure. And as AOC points out, it's a small man syndrome. You know, she's like, I think Stephen Miller looks like he's 4'10". That's good. Go at him on that. Because we can all see it. He's bones. He's like a tiny little Skeletor. Like, and he wants to make himself stronger, more masculine by taking it out on fucking migrants or taking it out on protesters or taking it out on the left. It's like, no, man, you got to deal with yourself. Okay. You got to deal with the fact that, your wife had to say that you are a matador in bed or whatever she said. Okay, what? We know the fucking truth. Okay. This guy is such a little puss. Okay. He's overcompensating for his own weaknesses, his own failings, his brokenness. All right. You know who else was good on this, actually? I'm going to add another clip. Here's Ruben Gallego mining this vein as well on CNN's Jake Tapper.
You're a veteran, so I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what you thought of Secretary Hegseth's and President Trump's discussion before the generals at Quantico.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It was, number one, it politicizes more the military, which is what you don't want to do. As someone who has sat in briefings of that nature, it really tells you what's happening. It's definitely clear that Secretary of Defense Hegseth is trying to compensate for something. Everything he did at that meeting, he could have sent in an email, and he was just trying to, show force, and he looked very weak in the process.
What do you think he's trying to compensate for?
I think the fact that he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows that within the Department of Defense, people think he's a laughingstock and that he is probably one of the worst Secretary of Defenses that this country has had. And I think he's trying to exert his power over some of these generals, but it's not going to help when he clearly is way out of his league.
I love that. Ruben knew that he was talking about Pete Hegseth overcompensating for his tiny microphallus. Jake Tapper knew that Ruben was saying that. Jake Tapper tried to call him out, and Ruben just didn't bite. Ruben's like, we all know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to talk about these other things that he's overcompensating on, all these other failures he has. This is good. This is right. This is how you go at them. They are small men. They do have micro penises. They are insecure. They are pathetic. Okay? They are not capable of defending their households, actually. In the case of Stephen Miller in particular, Stephen Miller's never won a fight in his life. All right? So don't let them puff themselves up into being big old bullies. Go at them, laugh at them, point and laugh at them. Ha ha. We laugh at you. You're pathetic. You're sad. You think that you've become a big man now? You haven't. We all see it. We all see it. We know. We know. You know that we know. And you're going to try to take it out on little kids getting zip tied. It's pathetic. You're pathetic. Good on AOC for calling them out. Here's my note. She was right there. She was right there. She was right there and doing it. And I like that, I like the authenticity. She's sitting there in her hoodie. She's hanging out. It's like a Sunday night. She's like, yeah, I have some thoughts about Stephen Miller being a 4'10" weak little boy with a micro penis, overcompensating for his personal failures, and for the fact that he knows that he's not what he projects himself to be. I like all of that. And then she starts reading the comments, and I like that. I like engaging with the commenters. I engage. I try to engage with you all. Become a Bulwark Plus subscriber, become a YouTube Plus subscriber, and I see the comments more. I would appreciate that. Monitoring those over there for members. We appreciate all the members out there who are supporting us. So that's an opportunity for me to engage with you more. But I'm consuming as much as I can of y'all's feedback. And she's engaged with the feedback, and then this happens.
Someone said, short kings are great. Absolutely. I'm not here. I want to absolutely make sure that I talk about that. I'm not here to make fun of anyone's anything, but the way people overcompensate over their own stories is what I'm talking about there. So thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we like short kings. We like short kings, sure. There's some great short kings out there. There's not, but don't apologize. You don't have to apologize, AOC. Call Stephen Miller a fucking midget that can't do a bicep curl, who is overcompensating for his weak little stature. Call him that. You're not impugning all the other short people out there. We don't have to, walk on eggshells about that. There's some great confident short kings out there in the world, no doubt. No doubt. Okay. But Stephen Miller isn't one of them. Stephen Miller isn't one of them. And it's not like a big secret that sometimes there are short men out there that try to overcompensate for their tiny stature by becoming douchebags. And there's a whole name for it. There's a Napoleon complex, right? So that exists. It's a thing that exists in the world. It doesn't impugn every short person. I'm a little skinny bitch. Look at me. Okay. If somebody was out there making fun of me, let's imagine that I was using my platform to try to menace migrants and trans people. And people are like, oh, Tim with his little noodle arms thinks that he's tough. That'd be a good hit. That'd be a good hit on me. All right. There are great people out there with noodle arms. Okay. But I have the noodle arms. And if you want to take a whack at me over my little noodle arms or my pearls or whatever, you just do that. That's fine. I can handle it. We're all big boys and girls here. So that's my note. We don't have to, when we're calling out Stephen Miller for who he is, when we're pointing and laughing at him, we don't need to make sure we're using all the correct language about it. So anyhow, that's one man's opinion. Subscribe to us if you agree with that opinion, or even if you don't, but like engaging with us. Because I like hearing, every once in a while, my compass gets a little off center. So I'll take your feedback on all that. Comment in the feed below. Good on you, AOC. Got 90% of the way there. We're liking that. Progress is good. We encourage that around here. Subscribe to our feed. We'll be talking to everybody soon. Stephen Miller, you're a tiny little bitch. Peace.